The question is, should we be expecting a financial reset that will set off everyone into enslavement to a global economy? Well, the answer is yes. And if you need evidence of how this is going to happen, you need look no further than all of the recent reports on how vulnerable the grid is and cyber attacks and cybersecurity. The globalists love to let you know about their New World Order plans before they happen. So here we have Obama just last week showing off the government's cybersecurity framework and offering the best practices guide for banking, defense, utilities, and other industries to help protect themselves against attacks by hackers. Now, the Wall Street Journal reports that the supposed Iranian hack of the Navy's largest unclassified computer network was more serious than originally reported. They say U.S. defense officials were taken aback by the skill of the Iranian hackers who were allegedly able to gain access to the network through a security weakness. Now, the Navy admits no data was stolen or email accounts compromised. However, the Iranians were able to conduct surveillance. Now, if the intrusion is in fact true, it may be viewed as a response to the Stuxnet virus, which was developed jointly by the United States and Israel, and that was a computer virus inserted into the network at a nuclear facility in Iran. Now, Iran did admit to establishing, quote, the world's strongest cyber army in response. In January of 2013, U.S. government officials claimed that Iran attacked U.S. bank networks in retaliation for economic sanctions imposed on the country. And according to a former official in the State and Commerce Departments, there is no doubt within the U.S. government that Iran is behind these attacks. So it sounds to me like Iran will be taking the fall for any coming globalist-backed cyber attacks. But the U.S. has publicly disclosed that it has created 13 teams of covert hackers to carry out cyber attacks against other countries. And the chief of the NSA said the teams are offensive in nature and will defend the country against cyber attacks. So we already know who is the most skilled in this cyber attack, cybersecurity game. It's the U.S. Meanwhile, Asia Weekly is reporting that Japan is secretly developing a nuclear weapons program in response to the increasing hostilities in China over the East China Sea dispute. Now, according to the report, Japan has recently demanded that the U.S. return 300 kilograms of plutonium, noting that Mitsubishi, Hitachi, and Toshiba all possess expertise in the area of nuclear energy, and along with 200 other small companies, they could all be called upon to kickstart a nuclear weapons program. Japan already has 40 tons of plutonium in its possession. Now, obviously, this is not a good thing that Japan is building nuclear weapons, but basically they're giving us a vote of no confidence. They have no confidence that the U.S. is going to be around to protect them, much less would the U.S. actually have their back against China, its biggest creditor. I don't think so. So here we have a case of Japan looking out for their best interests.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.